is officially 4 days away, and while the sun is shining, your wallet might be feeling the heat. From weekend getaways to family outings to back-to-school shopping just around the corner, it's easy for spending to spiral out of control. So how do you enjoy the season without falling into a financial crisis? Joining us today is Charlene Storr, author of Staging Your Financial Comeback, here to share practical tips on how to budget wisely, stretch your dollar, and still have an amazing summer. Charlene, welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here with you.
So is it possible to budget wisely and still have an amazing summer?
It absolutely is. There's a couple of things to consider. One is the expenses that come up every summer and how you can control them. How much you're spending on vacation. Paying attention to your utility bills, you know, the ACs that we're running. Not to mention the groceries with the kids home all summer, or summer programs, right? So the trick is to decide in advance how much you want to spend on those items so there are no surprises. There are some people who earn less during the summer if you're a seasonal earner, so maybe you want to be a little creative on how you earn additional income and get the kids involved where practical.
So you talk about planning ahead and remembering that, hey, every year these bills gonna come. Every year these kids gonna be home a lot more. Like you say, we use our ACs a little bit more. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make as we head into the summer months, where you also mentioned that some people are seasonal earners and the money just isn't coming in that way? What are some of the mistakes we need to look out for?
Spending as if there's no limit, right? Planning a vacation that you're paying for right into next year. That, you know, that's not always the best idea. And even not thinking through back to school. I mean, it shouldn't surprise you. By the end of August, you need to buy back to school supplies. So planning that into your spending early on in the summer.
And what advice would you give to parents then who, you know, are now mid-June pretty much, that they can now start using and utilizing to prepare for back to school?
Start looking out now for the deals, right? And even if you structure it so that you're buying a little something every month, as opposed to waiting until the end of the month when you've spent everything else. Just planning that stuff out. If your kids are, if it's age appropriate, get the kids involved in earning for back to school supplies as well, working through the summer, you know, that type of stuff.
And so we all know the summer trips. Every family wants to practically take their family on a big summer trip. What advice would you have there? Do a smaller one this year, then a big one next year?
If you're going into a major expense borrowing for a vacation, that's not usually a good idea, because you'll be paying for it too far into the future. Sometimes it may be delay it a year or two for the big one, or find there are a lot of things we can do for fun that require less money. Even vacationing at home, right? Those options. I'm a family of 5, and so we would occasionally do the Atlantis. Someone will say to me, that's very expensive. It's cheaper than 5 tickets.
Talk about budgeting, right? And you talk about planning ahead. But what should families be looking at or doing in terms of their summer budgets? Because I know we save for Christmas. Everyone has their little piggy bank on the side for Christmas. Is that something we need to start doing for summer?
Yes, particularly if you're planning trips, you know, planning that out in advance. It's a financial plan. A lot of people don't like the word budget, so it's a financial plan.
Call it a financial plan.
Yeah. We plan vacations. Let's plan what we're going to do with our money. And a good idea there, too, is allocating by percentage. How much money do you have? What percentage of that money will you put to traveling, fun, whatever during the summer, even utility bills. Determine in advance how much we want to spend, how much of our income, what percentage of that do we want to go in any particular area.
And even sometimes when we don't have the financial plan or we don't think ahead, people be like, you know what, it's summer, I still want to take my kids on this trip. Should they just forego it some years when they don't have that plan in place?
Yes, I always think it's better to skip a year or two and save towards it, you know. And again, you can have fun without spending a lot of money. There are things you can do locally to create some fun. Right.
And so let's go to your book now, Staging Your Financial Comeback, Keys to Recovering from a Financial Crisis. What can we find in here? What nuggets, what gems can we find in these pages?
What this book seeks to do is lay it out in a simple format. We have a lot of stories, so it should be relatable. At the end of each chapter, there's some reflections that allow you to plan ahead, so that by the time you're finished with the book, you should have your own practical, personal, actionable plan to get out of your financial crisis.
All right, so what made you write the book?
I've been coaching people one-on-one for about 30 years, and it's a couple of things that happened. I find I wasn't reaching enough people one-on-one. The book gets me to more people in advance. Plus, coming out of COVID, I found there were so many people who were terminated, underemployed, unemployed, any variation, facing crises, and that's where this particular book was born.
And I love the name of the book, Staging Your Financial Comeback. And as I flip through, I see some points that I could even take away, right? Money among colleagues, poor communication with money. So where can we find this book?
It's available on Amazon, in print, on Kindle, local stores, Logos, bookstore, Oasis bookstore, Chapter One bookstore at UB.
Some really great insight today. Thank you so much for being here and breaking down how we can all enjoy the summer season without the financial stress. Well, we've talked money and how to avoid a summer financial meltdown. Now it's time to switch gears and add a little spark and romance.